Wow, what a spectacular Super Bowl. I love football. There were many, many throws, and there was some kicking involved, and as expected, the team with the most points eventually won. America.
Well, that marks the end of the NFL football season, but the question on everyone's mind remains, what will happen with Colin Kaepernick?
And more importantly, how much longer will these protests continue?
Before we move on, don't you think we should explain this whole Colin Kaepernick protesting situation to all the viewers and news anchors that don't fully understand the situation, please?
In 2016, amidst a pattern of police brutality directed towards the African American community, San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick put his career on the line by kneeling during the national anthem. What began as a peaceful protest quickly turned into a national controversy which centered around showing respect for the American flag and supporting the troops. Kaepernick explained to NFL media that he felt he could not stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color.
President Trump recently tweeted, "When it comes to the respect of our nation, when it comes to the respect of our anthem and our flag, we have no choice. We have to stand with respect." He also stated in a rally in Alabama, "Any son of a bitch who took a knee should be fired for showing a lack of respect towards the flag."
All right, let's head to the phone lines now and see what our callers have to say about this situation. Caller number 1, what's on your mind?
Hello, my name is Billy Bob Bow. I am from the great state of Carolina. First and foremost, I respect and support President Trump, and I stand behind everything he says. Sitting down during the national anthem? Are you out of your mind? You might as well spit on the American flag. I watch the Fox News Network every day, and their coverage of the situation makes me believe that everyone who disagrees with me should be fired too.
Well, you know, caller, Fox News might not be the best authority for this whole situation. Anyways, let's move on to our next caller. Caller 2, you're live.
I completely disagree with the last caller. I think that what Colin Kaepernick did was brave, and it's a shame that he hasn't been signed to a team since he started the Take a Knee movement. I think that President Trump and the media have blown this completely out of proportion. These protests, they were never meant to disrespect the flag or the troops. It had nothing to do with that. The protests were meant to counteract police brutality and highlight just how unfair it is that no one has ever answered for the black teenagers who have died at the hands of the police. Honestly, this whole situation just goes to show how deep the cultural divide in our society runs. On a separate note, what was up with that Maroon 5 halftime performance? It's a shame that these protests gave the league such a bad reputation and so many bands dropped out, and the only one willing to perform is one that peaked in 2004.
Well, caller, you raised some pretty good points about the cultural divide, and Maroon 5 was pretty terrible.
But their lead singer has a pretty rockin' body.
All right, now on to our third and final caller. Caller number 3, what's on your mind?
You know, what Colin Kaepernick did was a disgrace to the National Football League. I'm not a big fan of Trump, but what Kaepernick did was wrong. He's making a mockery out of the sport of our anthem. He can protest on his own time all he wants, but when I pay my hard-earned money to watch a good football game, you'd better stand for the anthem and keep your mouth shut and just play the damn game. Frankly, I don't care if you're protesting the police, the troops, or your mom's cooking. I've got no time for his antics, and he deserves to be out of the league for that BS.
Thanks for your take, caller. A great example of the intersectionality between sports and politics in this dilemma. But that's enough of me quoting the syllabus. What do you guys make of this situation?
Well, it's clear that 3 years later, this NFL controversy remains one of the largest social issues to divide America. This situation does just go to show how the media can manipulate narratives to benefit their own social agendas.
Well, folks, that concludes this week's edition of our program. Thanks to all our viewers, and we'll see you again next week. And just to be clear, we were talking about American football, not soccer.